Well, Amberly, I want to make sure before you go that we have a couple of very practical tips and things that we can share with the audience. You talked a lot about the experience of being doxxed, and it feels incredibly important after having read your blog and just knowing how destructive that can be. I'd love for you to kind of walk the audience through what that is and maybe some ways to help protect yourself.
Sure. So doxing, in case you don't know, is when someone takes your personal information and they put it out online. And sex workers are really any kind of online entertainers. I see it happen in Twitch and YouTube a lot, which there are risks with that, but there are way more risks when it comes to being a sex worker because most of us are not out of the closet. I have been ripped out of my closet on multiple occasions. Basically, everybody knows at this point, but that doesn't mean it's not still dangerous. So, like, tip number one to not getting doxxed is don't participate in internet drama. Most times, models come to me after they've been doxxed is because they got in an argument on Twitter, or Instagram, or some other social media site. It's not worth it. It's not. I'm not saying don't have discourse, but once stuff starts getting nasty, if someone seems hostile towards you, back away. Like,
Mhm.
you never know when that person is going to take or what they're going to take offense to. I have people that have told me, actually on Instagram, this one girl was like, "You were so nasty to me, blah blah," on Twitter. That's why I blocked you, and I saved everything that you said. And looking back through the conversation, I only had a conversation with her publicly because I looked up her account, and privately she had DM'd me saying like horrific things to me.
Mm.
Um, so I was like, I'm not going to respond to this DM. And she kept goading me publicly. And publicly, I kept saying, and she kept saying, go to DMs. I want to take this DMs. I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't feel comfortable having a private conversation. I would love to talk to you about this publicly. And that's what she got mad at. So that's a good example of how you can be being nice, but someone can get mad. So don't,
Hmm.
if stuff starts going left in sex work, especially, don't participate. Second thing is check all of your data files. A lot of people upload uh, video and pictures, or even audio, and like some of your information will be in there. It'll say like where that, like your
The metadata and the file
yeah,
name attached to it. Hmm.
yeah, exactly. It'll say your city, your state. Use VPNs. They help hide your IP address as well as, your all of your it encrypts all of your information, and they're so cheap that it honestly, I can't, given the data that you're giving away, it's so cheap a year. It's so worth it. If you buy a website, make sure you get who is protection. It usually on Namecheap it's free, but it hides your personal information after you purchased a website. um and lastly is just be careful what you tell people. For example, if you ask me where I live, I will sometimes say New York City. I will straight lie to you about where I live. Like, if you're going to call me a liar and base it off of I lied to you about where I live or how many kids I have and stuff like that, oh yeah, I lie about stuff like that all the time. So yeah, like, you can judge me for that, that's fine, but I'll tell you
Yeah.
New York City, I will tell you Pittsburgh, I'll tell you Cleveland. um I'm somewhere in that area right now.
Yeah, I give really vague answers
Midwest
like,
Triangle.
yeah, I give people vague answers like, "Oh, I'm from the Midwest." And if they want to know specifically, I'm like, uh the Northeast Midwest. Like, that's I don't like to get specific. Like, I want to talk to people, I want to engage in conversation, because for some people who are looking for a more like girlfriend experience type of thing, they want to have conversations. They want to know about you outside of a sexual context, but there's only so much of that you can do without doxing yourself.
Yeah, like a lot of times back before I like really became the iteration that I am now, back when I was Amberly, femdom extraordinaire, whatever. Um, I I was living in Georgia, and I told people that I was in Dallas because I know Dallas very, very well. So like they were, and also I can do a Dallas accent. So nobody was none the wiser. Pick a city that you know really, really well, or go learn a fuck ton about a city if you've never been there. That's completely far, far away from where you live. So
yeah. If people want specifics, I tell them about my hometown, which is over an hour from where I actually live now. But I know it well enough that they could be like, oh, have you ever been to that one restaurant? Do you live on the east side or the west side? And I can bullshit my way through it.
Yeah, or Amazon. Also, I don't suggest Amazon unless you give me an Amazon gift card code and then I can add it to my account and buy stuff. Because now, like, if I buy a gift off your wish list, when they drop it off on your porch, they take a picture of it and it goes to me.
Oh, really? I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah, watch that ish. Don't do
yeah,
that.
Okay, well, I'm definitely going to have to take some links off of my OnlyFans now.
Sorry.
Hey,
No,
I
I would
appreciate
so
you,
much.
protecting the community, getting this information out there.
I would so much rather know that. I mean, nobody's bought anything off my Amazon wishlist anyway, so it doesn't make a difference.
I found it out the hard way. It was fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Told you, forcibly drugged out of my closet multiple occasions. I've doxed myself too. So
and that's the thing is again, with what you were saying earlier, I have such a hard time believing that you are doing this dishonestly, because it's I mean, it seems obvious to me that you're pretty free about this information, and the only reason you charge anything for it at all is because you have to put so much time into it.
I would do free consultations if I did learn that when people pay for it, they take the information more seriously.
Sure.
Like there's hundreds of thousands of people who have my free book that have not moved on it. And like, I'm not hundreds of thousands. I just said 10,000. Sorry, thousands. My ego just got too big for me. But they haven't moved on it, which is the big thing.